Hey all, before I start this video, I wanted to give a little bit of an educational edge to things. I know that my friends, my family, and I'm sure you have some as well, are always like, why are you wasting time with video games? Why are you watching these video game videos? They're not improving your life. They're not making things better for you. Well, I know for many people they do, but for me, it's an escape. So I really just don't do much with it other than go, and drool and play a game. Anyway, to that end, if your friends and family are saying that to you, today you're going to be able to say, well, here's what I learned. The term buttering someone up comes from ancient India, where certain worshippers of certain gods would ball up butter or ghee. It's actually differently processed butter. But anyway, ghee, and throw it to the statues of their gods in an effort to curry favor with them. So basically they whip butter at them and say, give me a wish. That's basically what they were doing. I mean, it's probably more deep than that. I'm going to get yelled at for simplifying it, but that is where the term buttering someone up comes from. So now you know, and the more you know, the less people like you. Hey there, real gamers, and all you gatekeepers out there. Retro Rob here, and welcome to Retro Rob Plays Everything. And today is a video that I've been asked to do, I don't know, a few times, and asked if it's done yet, or if I'm working on it. And the answer is, I've been working on it over and over again, and reworking it. And at this point, I'm just gonna let this baby go, because I've reshot pretty much everything in it other than a couple scenes, and I'm going to tell you that it does not flow like my usual video. It doesn't follow the mechanics that I normally use in my videos, so apologies if you don't like it. If you do, let me know. It's more of a string of conscious video than it is like something that just tries to tick all the boxes. But anyway, wow, that was a lot of talking for nothing. Anyway, this is the Steam Deck, and that's what this video is about. And I'm gonna cover my general opinions on it. I'll throw in a little bit of gameplay. A lot of it's going to be from gameplay videos I already did. I do want to get a couple of recordings off the screen, so that'll be in. And I haven't recorded that as of this, so I'll probably just throw those into it. But anyway, a little bit of talk about my suggestions and recommendations for things you should probably get for it, or things you should play, and just my general opinion, which is, if you just want to skip the whole video, the thing's freaking amazing. I mean, amazing. But anyway, I'm gonna throw the rest of my comments at the end. So here we go with the unboxing. Here, my friends, is the box. Kind of unassuming. It's probably for the best. Probably shouldn't be flashy, unless it disappears or something in the mail. Not that we have many problems around here with that. Anyway, all right. So here we have a diagram, Steam, and stuff. What is this supposed to... Make sure to plug it in and power it on. Okay. I don't really understand what the instructions are that it's trying to... I don't know what it's trying to say here. But anyway, oh well, no worries. Your games are going places, and it's inside its case right now. This is alright. I don't mind this packaging. Also, I believe this is the power supply, so maybe we'll just pull that guy out first. Come on, you. And let's see how big this sucker is. Well, good news is it's not an outrage. Okay. USB-C adapter. Very nice. Kind of reminds me of Amazon's Echo devices as far as the the AC adapter goes. Looks a lot like it. Feels nice. Well built, not junk. That's good. Inside, I believe, hold on. There's some kind of manual in here. Oh man. There is a giant Steam Deck manual, and it's in black and white. Multiple languages. It doesn't... I'll read through it, and if there's anything super interesting in here, I'll let you know, but it doesn't appear to have anything super interesting in it. And this was an unplanned unboxing, so apologies for sound quality. I did not have my studio set up, and I really wanted to check this thing out, so here we go. And I'm gonna slide this off. It does have a little, it has a little rip point right here if you want to rip it out. I don't know if any of this is, nah, not very important. Okay, good. And it is, look at that. I'm gonna have to get something, hold on. Ha! This came in very useful. And I'm gonna try not to touch it. Here we go. Unclipped. And we'll open her up. Nice case, feels good. Oh, and there we go. Upside down though. Why would it open like that? You should open it, it should really open this way. Anyway, here we have the Steam Deck. Let's see, we've got 2 thumbsticks. You got these pads that are a little bit like the Steam controller from a couple of years ago. And we got a Steam button. And I don't know, this is to be commented on later button. Is that what that is? Again, sorry about the sound quality. A, B, X, Y. Got a D-pad here. Placement's nice. It's actually lighter than I had expected it to be. But I mean, the construction feels really good. It feels nice. Looks like we got a volume control up here, volume down. Headset, or headphone jack right there. And we've got a vent on the top, USB-C port, power. And then of course we've got 2 triggers. Thank you for making them analog. Bumpers. And there's another set, kind of like the Elite controllers have on the Xbox. Right there on the bottom. Kind of weird. It's like, that doesn't look very amazing, but it feels nice. Alright, I'm gonna plug this in and get things set up, and then let you know what my first impressions are. We will of course play some games, probably do some on the screen and then some as video out. So since I believe this has HDMI out on it, which would be awesome. Am I wrong about that? Does this not? Is that a spec I didn't look at? Oh, that would be terrible. All right, well, hang in there folks. Let me play with it for a while. Future Rob here with just a quick addendum. Number one is, of course, there's a touchscreen. I didn't mention that in my unboxing. And the other thing was about video out. I was surprised there wasn't any. It uses Thunderbolt for video out. I'll be going into that a little bit more later. But next we're going to talk a little bit about the menu system on here. And I think it's pretty clever. And I'm just going to go through a few basics so you kind of get a feel for what it's like to use this thing. All right, we are going to go through the Steam menu system a little bit. And again, this is just kind of an overall look at it. Not meant to be absolutely complete, but give you a feel for how things work. First thing I want to note is that every once in a while you're going to want to use an on-screen keyboard. And you hit Steam X to do that. Just tap it like that and boom, it is up. So if you need a keyboard, that's how you do it. You could also hook up a Bluetooth keyboard, you know, do whatever you want. On the left here, Steam button. There it is. You got home, library, store, friends and chat, media, download settings, and power. And I'll go a little bit through those in a moment. But on the right, you have these ellipses. Hit these guys here, and you've got this quick menu, which is actually kind of the same stuff that is in the Steam menu, but it's kind of a quick access for this stuff. And most importantly, it has these little quick settings right here. And these you do mess with a lot, like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, all those things that you might set regularly. The other thing is performance settings are in here. And if you go down to the bottom, this is where the manual is. And you can replay the guided tour because you probably skipped through it in your excitement the first time and didn't actually pay any attention. So there's those. And now I'm going to just connect this to a screen right now and go through some of the menus with you. All right, folks, here we are on the screen that basically you see every time you boot up the Steam Deck. And yeah, it's really exciting. But you can get to your recently played games from here, and that is pretty useful in and of itself. So there we go with those right there. And first thing you're probably going to end up doing is switching over to your library, which I just hit that Steam key, and I showed you that in the last scene. But anyway, hit that, go to your library, and you can see your entire library. And it starts on the last thing that you had selected. So in this case, we've got my installed games, and these are all my installed games. I'm going to show you a couple things about them real quick. Okay, you're going to see that check mark, that green check mark right there means that it is confirmed as Great on Deck. Let's go over to here to the Great on Deck games. I have 296 games listed as Great on Deck. That's out of 1,939 games total. Now, I'm going to tell you that that does not necessarily mean that I have 1,700 some games that don't run. Actually, I've found that most of them seem to run just fine. I've only run into a couple that don't actually work on this. And to be honest, I can't remember which ones they were because I uninstalled them right away. But I have found that most games that I try work, and one of them is listed as not working. I believe that's the Baconing. No, it's yeah, Thongs of Virtue is listed as not working, and it absolutely does work on my Steam Deck. So that's kind of weird. So that's what that little round guy with a slash through it means. It means Ghostbusters. No, it just means it means that it is known not to run on Steam Deck. But I've even found one of those that actually does run. A couple other things here. Let's go to one of these guys with an info on it. All right, so we got Alice here, which has an info on it. By the way, this game did not run on my Windows PC, my last gaming PC, my MSI. It had issues. It would just crash out every time. So it's kind of nice to be able to play it. Anyway, you go over here to game info right here, and then you see right here it says Steam Deck compatibility details. And we're going to hit that. Okay, so this one says that entering some text requires manually invoking the on-screen keyboard, which I showed you how to do. So that's like no big deal. Otherwise, the thing runs just fine. So you can go right ahead and play it without any problems. Invoking the on-screen keyboard is no big deal. So I wouldn't worry about it at all. It even shows Steam Deck controller icons, which is kind of funny. Very often, you get the info for that one. And it's like, well, the game works just fine, so, and it's showing Xbox icons, which are essentially the same thing, so why even worry about it? You know what I forgot to tell you? Question mark. It means status unknown. Should have told you that. Sorry. Anyway, that's, I think that's all I really have to say about that section of things. I think we've covered that pretty well. What? Oh, no. My notes say otherwise. So, one other thing I should note. If you have a game that says that it's compatible and doesn't run, or if you have a game that doesn't say it's compatible and doesn't run, one thing you might want to try is you hit the little, the three lines, the options button, it's marked on here. And you can go into properties right here and go to compatibility, and you can force a certain version of Proton. And I'm going to tell you right now, there are definitely going to be times where you want to switch over to Proton 7. I think I ran into one where 6 worked. Generally speaking, the default is fine, but I'm going to have to say that sometimes you do have to use that, so just keep an eye on that. And boom, we're out of that. So it's going to save you more than once, I'll tell you that. Anyway, if you have a lot of games. Let's go back, and I'm going to hit the Steam button. Should be able to reach without looking. Most of the time I do, but whatever. I never do anything well when I'm recording. Okay, so you got this section called Great on Deck, and these are all games that are known to run really well on the deck. If you try one of these games and it doesn't run, try that compatibility that I said, and if it still doesn't run, take a look at the commentary on it. If there's no commentary, you might want to have your device checked out because you might be having a problem with it. But as you can see, there's quite a few games. They did just recently fix a bug that I was going to talk about in this video. Fortunately, it was fixed like literally a couple days ago. And what would happen is if you kept going down and showing more, eventually it would just give you blank. It would give you nothing. It does get a little bit slow now, but at least it works, and that seems to be working just fine. So that is good. They fixed that, and that's another thing to note about this device. It is constantly, and I mean constantly, under construction. There's always stuff going on. All right. Let's go back to the Steam menu real quick. Yeah, friends and chat, that's on the other side. I showed you that. In the last segment, so we'll skip over that for now because you can definitely do it from the right-hand ellipses menu. Here's your media if you take a screenshot. I found a bug, by the way. In some games, it just randomly takes screenshots. Really odd. And then it's really weird because they don't show up here either. They don't actually show up here, so I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, it'll say it's taking a screenshot. Maybe it's not actually taking a screenshot, but in a couple games I've run into that. Really strange. Really strange. And here, of course, is your download section, just like regular Steam. And you can see how fast things are downloading. I just upgraded to a larger SD card, so I had to download a lot recently. Settings. Okay, here we go. There's a lot in here. I'm only going to skim over it, but you should know that they exist. You can show the battery percentage in the header. That's kind of useful if you're out there. If you're out and about a lot. I use mine plugged in a lot. Software updates are right here on the stable channel. You can change that. I wouldn't recommend it. Here's where you format your SD card. You definitely are going to have to do that. When you get a new SD card, it is not in a format that this device can use. So you will need to format it first thing when you get an SD card and place it in this. And note that you will use that SD card for nothing else. If you're really interested, there are some products that will allow you, if you've got a Windows device, to read these drives. If you've got Linux, woo, you're set. You can read the partitions this makes already, but if not, you're gonna have to, I don't know, cry, I guess. I don't know, manage it here. Anyway, lock screen if you want it. If you go out a lot, this might be a great idea to have. If you don't worry about it. Again, Wi-Fi settings, this is a repeat. We've got notifications. I do turn some of these things off because I get annoyed pretty easily. This is not as complete as I would like it to be. I hope in the future that you'll be able to set resolution, etc. I use a trick to get mine to output to 1080. And that's basically, I've got a monitor that's 1080 and I pass it through my recording stuff to do that. It's not really much of a trick. It's just, it'll choose that if that's all it's got. Anyway, volume, I've got, I'll go over that in the accessories that I've got a little bit more. Well, you'll see it right there. But anyway, Bluetooth, you can set up Bluetooth on here. That is also in that quick menu. It's available. You've got Rumble and haptics. Again, another repeat of what's on the other side, which is not terrible. Friends in chat. And I've shown you this. Let's see, cloud gaming. There you go. You'll want that. Do I want the screenshot manager? Hey, that's interesting. I wonder if that works. I have not tested this. I wouldn't mind the screenshot manager to work because I'd like to know whether I'm actually taking screenshots or not. Take a look. Library sharing, remote play. I don't know why I would do. It's so weird. You'd think that this would be the one that you'd remote play to, but I guess. And here's your drive usage. And I am nuts. I'm just going crazy with the drive usage, which is why I needed a bigger drive. And you can do Steam activations here. I've actually used this a couple times. It's not my favorite way to do it, but it does work. And I believe that is it for the menu system. Hey folks, one more thing to add. When you're ready to start a game, there's this little joystick here, well, gamepad here. Select it, and you can turn those back grip buttons on and off. Most cases, they're disabled by default. The other thing you can do is turn off the trackpad, which for some reason in God's Trigger, it was turned on. So I'd keep bumping it when I'm playing the game, and it would throw my aim off, which sucked. Now it doesn't. Pro tip, after a long sweaty session of gaming, you should never ever wash your Steam Deck out in the sink. Don't do it, folks. Here we are with the accessories portion of the show. First thing you're going to notice is that I do not have a case for this, nor do I have a screen protector. And the reason for that is I haven't been able to find one that I really like. I'll see one that looks really good in the pictures on Amazon, but then when I see some of the pictures that people take of them, you know, like in the reviews section, they just don't look that good. And I don't know, you know, you pay a few $100 for something, you want it to look good. So if anybody has any recommendations, please let me know, and I will take a look at it because I could use some help on that one. Anyway, thumbsticks. You see these little green guys here? These are Obeka compatible thumb grips. They're made out of silicone plastic. They're very nice. I've used them on several of my consoles. I do have a problem occasionally with like an Xbox controller or whatever chipping off, so I do use these to protect the sticks. And it seems to do a really good job. I haven't had one of these actually wear out yet, but I've only had them for this last pack. That was an 8-pack, and I've had them probably, I don't know, about 6 to 8 months. I haven't had any problems with them. And I don't just use them on the Steam Deck, obviously. I use them on my Switch as well. Next thing I got is this USB-C magnetic adapter. I will put a link to this one below because it doesn't have like a real name. But what this is, if you've ever heard of like a mag adapter for the Mac, those Maglite adapters, that's what this basically adapts your system to. So I've got a little nub right up here, and boom, this goes here, and then the USB cable goes in here, and if I bump into it, instead of ripping the port out or possibly doing damage, it comes off. Nice. Why can I not remember the name of the mag adapter on Apple? I have no idea. Anyway, one thing I don't use that mag adapter with is this. This is a Tawija USB-C to HDMI adapter, and why I like it is because you've got this USB-C pass-through, so it provides power while I am using the HDMI out, and it also has a little bonus USB-C port. These aren't amazingly reliable, however they are amazingly cheap. They're about $17.99, and it has really worked great. I record all my videos with them instead of using the dock over here, and yeah, it's worked out really pretty well. These are the Logitech G435 headphones, and they work absolutely great with this. They're very lightweight. They sound okay, but they're $50, and they're made by Logitech, so they're quite nice. They fold up like this. They don't flip this way like you'd like them to, but they're very flexible, and they're perfect for on-the-go gameplay. I'll put a link to them down below. They're, like I said, just decent standard duty headphones. They're not winning any awards, but they work great for this situation, which is handheld gaming. Next, we've got the dock, and this is the thing I have tested the least, so I don't have a lot to say about it yet. This is the Owltree 5-in-1 hub. Oh, this is the Owltree 5-in-1 hub. Obviously, I'm going to need to do some work on the video after this. But anyway, it clocks in at $33.99, and as you can see, you can just sit right on here. Oops, shut it down. But anyway, you just set it on here. It's got a little adapter in the back, and that goes right here. By the way, I actually do use this with rats. Hold on a second. I actually use this with these mag adapters, so there we go. And then boom, you're charging. Of course I'm not right now because it's not plugged in. Going around to the back, take a look at that. And you've got HDMI, got a USB-C, that's the pass-through, and then 3 USB ports. So that's pretty cool. And that's basically about it for what I am using as far as accessories at this point. Though I'm looking into a more solid carry case than the one that came with it. Not that I think it's terrible, but you know, it could use a little bit stronger case, I think. I can't believe it, I almost forgot to mention what kind of SD card I'm using. I am using the SanDisk Extreme 1 terabyte. And I'll put a link to that down below. It's $163.15 right now for some reason on Amazon. And my recommendation for this is, whatever you think you need, double it and make it as fast as humanly possible. Do not cheap out on an SD card, because if you're running games off it, you want it to be as fast and reliable as possible. So don't go onto those secondary markets and buy garbage. Get it from Amazon, get it, you know, from somewhere local, Best Buy or something, where you know you're getting legitimate stuff, because you don't want junk put into your Steam Deck and messing up when you want to play a game, or being really slow, or whatever else. By the way, I've noticed that speeds running off of this are a little bit slower than the internal storage, but not super noticeable. I mean, occasionally I go, it's taking a little bit, and then it loads. So, you know, enough to note it, but not so much that it's causing gameplay problem. And by the way, no gameplay problems playing off of this at all. All right, now we can go on to some gameplay.
Rate, comment, and subscribe, or I will go Skynet on your ass.
Right now, I am playing Halo on a freaking handheld. This is Halo Infinite. This isn't like an old Halo. This is new stuff. Pretty thrilled about this. All right, let's go in by hand here. And I gotta tell you, especially on the small screen, this plays excellently. Where are you, little bugger? What are you run? Oh, there you go. Yeah, now you're gone. I remember probably like 10, 15 years ago, I mentioned my kid, you know, someday we're going to be able to play Halo on a handheld. And now we're here. This is just, and I'm not as big of a Halo player as I was back then, but I mean, geez, you know. Just crazy doing this. What a thrill. All the settings are freaking low, by the way. But I'm going to tell you, on the handheld screen, most of the time, you're doing it at least 60 frames. I shouldn't say at least. I should say you're doing 60 frames. So, the game runs just fabulously. Love it. This is cool stuff. Alright, here's Deathspank and the Thongs of Virtue. And this one is supposed to be a no-go, but it's working. Haven't played through the whole thing yet. But I will say that when you first start up, this one, and I think all the Deathspanks are like this, they don't, the joystick support doesn't work quite right. So the only thing you have to do, and give it a second, it takes a little bit to boot up. Anytime now. Really, there we go. Okay. The only thing I really had to do with it is go into the control settings here. And you see that little guy right there that says Deathspank uses controller mode. I had to make sure that that was checked. And then I exited it and went back in and it worked. It didn't work right after I set it, but once I came back to it, it worked fine. So that is how you deal with that. Other than that, the game works just fine so far as I can tell. I haven't completed it yet, but I have completed the original Deathspank on here. Anyway, what happens if you select
Sometimes
joystick
busy heroes overlook things.
and don't exit out right away, is it will get mapped to the second player. I have no idea why. No idea why. You're meat, buddy. But anyway, having no problems with it. So
at any time.
even though it
Make
says it
sure
doesn't
you
work,
do this
it does.
incredibly
I'm
exciting
done repeating myself.
non-specific thing.
Here we have Ace Combat 7, which runs just fine on here as well. Yeah, let's change weapons here. There we go.
It's popping off now, Trigger. The war has officially begun.
I did notice that I don't think I have my saves from my other drive. I must have cloud saved this. Kind of sad about that. Yeah. Turn around. Nope. Maybe. Alright.
The enemy's barely resisting. This is easy money, so grab it while you can.
Let's go down and see some scenery.
Missile away.
Woohoo, too close to the ground.
They've got their anti-air guns aimed right at us.
Alright, next radar vehicle. Where the heck is he? How am I missing him?
Locked.
Boom. I think this game looks pretty darn great. And again, you know, if you're watching it on a full-size screen, imagine it on a small screen. Oop. Sweet. Oop. Kicking butt and taking names.
We can't wait any longer.
Alright, let's check something else out. My son Jonah would like you to know that you can play old school Runescape on the Steam Deck. I highly recommend that you dock it and use a mouse and keyboard to do this. He died! Woot. Alright, here's some Wreckfest for breakfast. For some reason when I'm outputting to this screen, it changes the resolution, but I mean, that actually does happen a lot, but it's weird it's not end-to-end on this one. Plus I didn't notice that on some other ones, which is completely and utterly possible. Come on. There we go. I like the lighting in this. But I also love how squirrely this car gets. Come on. Oh, it's pretty clear that this car is not up to the challenge. Yep. Just not fast enough. But you can see that it runs really, really nice. I like that. And you should too. Alright, here we have a little first-person roguelike called Delver. And Delver's interesting because I pretty much had to remap everything to make this work. Aw, this is sad. Did I get anything out of this? No, of course not. That would make too much, oh shoot, make too much sense. But anyway, it's unlisted as far as whether it runs or not. But as you can see, it does run pretty darn well. And it does run better on the built-in screen than it does with video out. Because I noticed quite a bit of lagging behind with the controls. There's a lot of latency here, which there honestly isn't when you're playing directly from the machine. But pretty cool little game, and I'm pretty happy that it runs on here. What the heck? If I go down there, I'm dead, right? Or do I not have a choice? Oh, I do it. Great. Come on. And this one, this particular game. Oh wait, it opened. Shoot. There we go. This particular game, I've had such a problem with getting working on many platforms. So actually being able to play it makes me happy when skies are gray. What am I talking about? And it looks like I didn't map the change weapon button. Way to go! Can I do it this way? Nope. Can I do it this way? Nope. I didn't map it. Oh, I gotta go this way. You joking me? Ugh. Drop down, climb up. Oof. Ugh. Well played. This game is Nova Drift, and it's one I'm going to be doing a more dedicated video on this handheld. I did do a video on this when it was in beta, and people seemed to like it quite a bit. But now that it's further along, I'd like to do another update, and I figured, I'll probably do it on the Steam Deck. And this is a, I don't know what you call this. It's a, I don't know, asteroids roguelike, I guess. Ooh, do not do that. Oh, come on. That guy deserved death. Anyway, you unlock a whole bunch of different weapons and defenses and drones and goodies like that. This game, I think, is just great. Absolutely love it. And it's just been getting better with every update. There we go. Give me some experience, people. Come on. I'm not doing very well against those. Where'd I go? There. There. Okay. Do another upgrade. And do I want reflection or do I want a halo? I don't want a halo. I think we'll use reflect. Do you see how every one of those missiles missed its target? That's insane. And real quick, we'll just go off through probably wave 20. If we can, my goodness. I'm making things harder on myself by using these missiles as my primary, but still, I should be doing better than this. There we go. Ready to upgrade. And what do we got here? We want the assault body. Got lucky on that one again. Come on. Oh no, 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 no! I can even miss with heat seekers. Good job, me. Alright, there we go. And I like rapid fire, but I like drones better. Give me those drones. Come on. Ready to upgrade, and let's up. +2 projectiles, but less range. I hate that. I don't want less range. Improve those drones, I guess. Oh. And here we go, wave 20. I think I'm just gonna upgrade one last time just for fun. Blast radius, there we go. There we go. Nice. I ain't afraid of you guys. I didn't see it go to wave 25. I'm already to wave 25. Alright. And that's about it for the gameplay section of this video. If you're interested in more gameplay videos on the Steam Deck, I've got a playlist dedicated to it. I'll link it down below. And if there's any game you want to see played on the Steam Deck a little bit more in depth than this, feel free to comment down below and I'll try to have that happen. let's go on.
Here are some random thoughts.
Little bit about the screen. The screen is actually quite nice. It's got a decent viewing angle. I mean, I can see it clearly all the way from these edges. Unfortunately, it probably looks a little bit better on camera than it really does, but the viewing angle is really quite good. No, it's not OLED, and the blacks aren't quite as black as they could be, but I think a lot of the complaints about the screen have been unfounded. It is pretty fast. It looks good. The color is deep enough that it looks nice while you're playing it. I mean, it's a handheld. You could definitely tell the difference between this and, say, like an OLED Nintendo Switch, but it's still quite good. Sound quality on it, it's okay. The mid-range is pretty good. It does have a little bit of bass to it. Actually, like, playing something here to show you what the sound is like totally won't work because I'm recording with this equipment, and this equipment has its own limitations. But, you know, it's okay. I much prefer to use headsets or headphones. Battery life. I very seldom speak to battery life when I cover these devices, and the reason is people play different games, and that greatly and wildly affects the battery life. However, I don't think I've ever gotten more than 2.5 hours out of a charge on this. Most of the time I do keep it plugged in with this little breakaway cable that I've got, and it's just MagSafe. Gee, I wish I would have remembered that sooner. MagSafe. But anyway, most of the time I'm running it plugged in, which I realize for some people will defeat the purpose of it being portable, but for me, since I'm keeping it by my nightstand and playing it at night, it works great. But just note it. All right, so here's a little throw in. If you go into the right-hand menu, that's the ellipses, right? See this right here? And you go down to the bottom, you can show the performance overlay in Steam. So you can turn that on and turn that off there. I'm also going to mention that I've heard some people have problems with it automatically turning on in them, and it'll be set to off here. If you get that, you don't need to go through a whole bunch of hoops generally. I found that every time I can just go to power here and actually shut down the device. And then when I turn it back on, it's back off again. I'm sure you could probably go to the desktop and do it as well, but that seems to have worked for me. And that wraps it up for my first 30 days on the Steam Deck. It's probably been more than 30 days. But I have learned a lot in those, and I hope you did too during this video. All in all, I am super impressed with this device. It is really cool. I've used the GPD Win. I've covered most of GPD's Windows-based handhelds, although I've been skipping a couple recently. And this far outstrips them in performance and just generally being a finished product. And I've heard a lot about this from people who have reviewed it, that it's not a finished product. It's a beta, and that is true, but it is way, and I mean way more polished of a product than what GPD puts out. This is really, really great. I had absolutely no problems with the controls. I think the screen looks good, sounds pretty decent. I covered that, I think, in the last segment. But it plays most games that I want to play and plays them very well. I will say that the few times that it doesn't play a game that I like, it's very disappointing. It's like, I can't believe that doesn't run, you know? Because everything else seems to run so well, even when it's not really a game that they recommend on the Steam Deck. But anyway, I'm sure it'll get better. You can do lots of mods on this thing. I mean, you can put in a larger hard drive internally. This one's the mid-grade model. You can also put Windows on it if you'd like. I don't think I'd recommend it. You're going to get some performance hits, although I wonder if I could strip down Windows and get it performance. But anyway, I'm done with that. I don't need another side project right now. The thing really does work quite well as it is right now. And, you know, I can't really complain for $600. I've definitely bought a lot worse and probably for more money. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye.